Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and this is your official welcome to our Versalager Race 6, and we're officially in the endurance series for Africa Pro. Now, we're looking at 330 kilometers ahead of us. Very, very exciting. Hendrik, we're finally here now. This is Race 6. Obviously, last week we had a very, very challenging race. This week, what are we expecting? We have some very, very similar weather, but yes. I know you have some insight on that.
Yeah, good. So we're right in the summer now.
Yes. That
we're experiencing this year. It feels like the heat is a bit earlier. Last week was quite take a lot out of the pigeons, definitely.
Right.
And in actual fact, there was predicted a tailwind in the beginning part of last week, slightly yes. southwesterly. And this week, the pigeons are flying in a headwind from a start, 8 to 10 kilometers, not serious headwind, but it's a little headwind. The main factor as we speak is our temperatures this time of the year. Most of the one-offs come now to the end of the season. The flying season in South Africa is also now to an end because this is high temperatures. So this is actually summer racing.
Yes, yes.
And but this is a very, very good test for the genetics and for our pigeons.
Now talking about a headwind, last week we had a tailwind. However, yes. we had some really, really difficult weather conditions for the yes. birds. That being said, for the very, very first time, unprecedented, ladies and gentlemen, with Africa Pro, over 330 kilometers, yes. we had a breakaway group, a 5-minute breakaway group. I think that's never ever happened in Africa Pro.
Of 3 pigeons, yeah. On such a short distance of 330 kilometers,
yes.
yeah. But what stands out for me there, Khutso, that's unbelievable. The genetic
right.
makeup and those
yes.
podium free. The pigeon that won last week of Linda de Vries from Canada.
Right.
The sire of that pigeon is out of the Janssens van Loon Hermans strain. But that very same sire is also the uncle of the mother who breed Freak Show.
Wow. That
won the Blue Jacket, the ace pigeon last year. More interestingly, on a second position last week, it's the equal winner. It's yes. only 3 pigeons coming.
Right.
An exact same race a year ago in Africa Pro, 303 kilometers. It was also a very tough race. Was 1100 velocity. That race winner was also last year one of the 2 pigeons in Africa Pro that was a 3-time equal winner. And her own child come in equal win on 303 kilometers exactly a year later.
Right.
On a 3rd position, the car race winner from Boots Einkammer last year, a very warm race, very yes. hot, the first hot race of last year.
Yeah.
Yes, 450 kilometers. That very same pigeon also been the 2nd pigeon in Africa Pro last year that was a 3-time equal winner. Only those 2 pigeons were a 3-time equal winner. Its own child come in last week as well in the 3rd position, which is the equal winner out of that breakaway. So what a phenomenal podium. It just shows to us that there is a really consistency, continuity in the Africa Pro concept, that when it gets longer and tougher, warmer, those genetics that's come through for itself. And that's why we love the pigeon sport so much. That's why I'm so passionate about Africa Pro and this concept. And it's just so that repeat itself, the successes. And yeah, it just excites me to see how the genetics in pigeon sport work.
Absolutely incredible. Obviously, we know right now he's the race director. He's got the library of genetics and the breeding and all that. Well, with that great insight from our race director, this is Versalager Race 6. Let's head on over to Luan at Liberation.
Good morning. We are at Race 6 Liberation Point this morning from 330 kilometers. A beautiful morning at Liberation, no wind at all. The pigeons had a fantastic week of recovery. They trained very, very well, and I think it's going to be a brilliant race today. I would like to wish everyone the best of success for today's race.
With the new Africa Pro season well underway and the crowning of the Green Jacket champion in Race 5, the avian athletes will once again navigate 330 kilometers of African sky on the first leg of the Africa Pro Endurance Series. The chase for the much revered brown jacket officially takes flight. In the ultimate search for the endurance pigeon, whose superior genetics will reign supreme. This is Africa Pro Race 6. It's Bersolager, race 6, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome. And as you can see, beautiful views of the sky there and of your Asian athletes taking to the air. I'd love to take a look at the route, Hendrik, and of course the weather.
Yeah, so the route is exactly the same as last week. We decided because it was such a tough, challenging race last week, we need to take the pigeons in consideration. That's what AFRIKAPRO will always do, is for the best of the pigeons, but also to take most out of the pigeons. So the route is there from Kroonstad, which is South Africa's most renowned liberation point in South Africa. And there, this morning, as you could see, Rohan was mentioning to us, there were hardly any wind, 17 degrees Celsius already in the morning, early mornings, 6:30. And the pigeons were facing a bit of headwind. As Rohan was driving, he showed to me wind picked up at areas even to 10 kilometers an hour, but let's work on 8 kilometers what the weather prediction was saying. And yeah, a total of 330 kilometers. The biggest factor today will be the temperature. The maximum temperature is 32 degrees Celsius when the pigeons arrive by midday, the biggest part of the pigeons. So not talking about the very first pigeons in the front, but the first pigeons will arriving here at 29 degrees Celsius. But what we've got to remember is half an hour later, we start hitting with 30 degrees Celsius and 31, 32 maximum by 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, yes.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I think it's a big talking topic. Last week, we're going back to the breakaway. Over, we won't say it's such a short distance, but it is generally, it wasn't in the endurance series yet. However, we saw, I think, an endurance series type breakaway. In fact, not just an endurance series, but a race towards the end of our whole season is what you would expect for a 5-minute breakaway for 3 birds, Hendrik.
Yeah, normally on our final race of 600 kilometers with high temperatures, we're expecting a breakaway group of 5 or 3 pigeons only. So we were quite surprised last week to see that there's only that 3 pigeons that come, which I mentioned earlier how the phenomenal that breeding was of those. So the second and third place come out of last year's equal winners. And yeah, so that is unbelievable to see that their own children that win, or the mother win last year a race and 3 times the same race. Now our own daughter come and win the same race a year later. And that apply also for the Boots Uncomer pigeon, the same genetics. Yeah, so, but there's a lot of champions out there. There's the Triple X Factor still come back last week. So she's still in the race. Maybe she just go down for water last week, who knows. And Ron told me this morning that pigeons drink a lot of water in the truck. So I think they learn also out of last year's experience. Yeah, because what we got to remember is last week was the first race that was hot. So that's always can be a wobble for the pigeons. So it was the first race that was really hot. And I expected today, even though they're facing a tougher race today, because there's a slight headwind, not serious, nothing to talk real about. 9, 10, 8 kilometers an hour. At Liberation, it feels like there's no headwind, but later into the route, Rohan definitely witnessed the headwind. And but the temperatures, as we mentioned, is going to be a bigger factor, and that takes a lot out of the pigeons. And it's just because why we say take a lot out of the pigeons is because the pigeons get dehydrated. They have small bodies, only 350, 400 grams of body weight, but with lots of moisture in. But as these beaks are open and there's dry heat, what we've got to remember is there's no humidity out there. The humidity, there's no clouds in the skies, clear skies. It's a dry African heat. And yeah, that dehydrates the pigeon very quickly. So they have to go down for water. And in particular if they didn't drink in a truck. But yeah, so we're more confident today. We think the pigeons gain experience and they are more conditioned for this temperature. So we're going to have good, again, hopefully good podium finishes. And I'm very surprised to see how our rankings look. Perhaps we can have a look at our leaderboards.
All right, let's take a look at the Black Jacket standings. Our top 10, very, very exciting. We've got Loft for Strata and Bruntingham having a really, really good race this season. I mean, in race 2, they were ranked 9th. So obviously within our season, they've already made their way to the top 10. And not just the first time, but the second time making their way into the top 10 this season. So very well done to them.
Yeah, they have a great season so far, Loferstraat and Bruntingham. Hans-Paul Esser into the 9th position, also no new name for the top 10 rankings. Last year was ranked 5th, going into the final of AFRIKAPRO in 2024 season. So we have actually a phenomenal season last year. I can remember on race 9, he was the Fancier with most pigeons in the front, top 100 last year in race 9, and he was in the 5th position for Black Jacket. So I thought, in my opinion, he was a favorite to take the Black Jacket. Yeah, but as we know, the temperatures throw the whole race upside down.
Certainly.
Last year in the final. But this year he creeps back up there, so very good for them. Well done to Hans-Paul Esse and Fusielov. Umberkalov, also a known name, been 2nd Black Jacket back in 2023. Alphonse Klaas last year 10th pigeon on the final, and this year 3rd on the current ace pigeon ranking.
Yeah, having a really impressive run thus far.
Alphonse Klaas is world renowned, respected for his success in $1 million pigeon race with Birdie, so everyone knows that, and perhaps that's, I don't know, I must talk to him if that's the same genetics as doing so good.
And they're currently the 3rd ace pigeon in our Blue Jacket rankings as well.
Yes, yeah. And then Kingston Gijslow, you can see 6th position, no name. Last year they make a big statement, and this year they back there again. Yeah, they just stick it out, and they have very good pigeons. We can't take that away from them. And the Pretoria Rebels is new to AFRIKAPRO.
Our debutants, welcome.
Yeah, so now it's nice to see that this is a syndicate out of a club here in Pretoria, and they obviously had a meeting and decided to get the best genetics they can possibly lay their hands on together, and they proved to us they've got it, pigeons.
As the capital Twissie guys should. It's expected of them.
Len Knutzer, what a phenomenal fancier and great success. He's one of the most consistent, to him and Velga, the pre-deadlifts and stuff. And with Kingston Gijslow, they are the 3 teams that is now for the last 3 years in the top 10 rankings of AFRIKAPRO on Black Jacket at the end of the season. And with Lex Webster as well. But Len Knutzer just proved to us there he belongs to this top 10 rankings. He had triple X factor. I think that pigeon is still a factor. They already won this year 3 races or equal winners.
Definitely a factor.
And he still stay out there. Why I regard him respectful is because when you get an upset race like last week and they keep that positions in the top 10 rankings, they don't drop out totally, then you know they got some ammunition out there.
Some consistency in the genetics as well, yeah.
And that applied to Velga and deadlifts. They were the leaders so far. I was asking the question before, will they be taken off there? And yes, they drop a few minutes, but it's far from over.
No, certainly.
Now we're going into the long distances, into the endurance series.
Then we have a South African in position number 2, Alwyn Bester.
Alwyn Bester, he's also now a no name in AFRIKAPRO, and his genetics and pigeons deserve to be there. He's a very good fancier, know what he does. Last year, 2nd green jacket, year before taking the green jacket, and now he's very competitive, as you can see in the black jacket as well. And then all the great success there for Mountain Lofts, Marine Mills from the UK. Partnered up with Ferdy Lever here, and that pigeons of Ferdy that he acquired from the old $1 million pigeon race just proved to us that they can fly in these conditions. A great race for them. A few last 2-3 races. If you see how the follow-up is of those of them, phenomenal season so far. Also 2nd ace pigeon today. So well done. There you can see our ace pigeon rankings as we just spoke about it.
The Blue Jacket rankings.
There's the Velga deadlift pigeon here at the bottom, and then James Triple J van der Linde and van Staden up in the 9th position. Karoo, Dr. There from a Karoo. Alwyn Bester in 7th position. And RMG, also RMG been always having an ace pigeon from the start. Every single year RMG have an ace pigeon in the top 10 rankings.
Good pick.
No, they are very respected in my mind, in my opinion, as a solid fanciers. Lofestraat and Brantegem, just spoke about them. They in a black jacket, and that's the reason why. It's because they got. So why I appreciate so much the Blue Jacket rankings is the fact that this is not. The fanciers sometimes can complain, but I didn't nominate my pigeon, and because of my error, I lost some positions. But in the Blue Jacket, that's irrelevant. So all the pigeons, even if it's a for sale pigeon, every single pigeon flies against the clock. And
Right.
this is time that's accumulating. As you can see now, this is already over 15 hours of flying
Right.
in this African conditions.
So every single bird in the team is considered, the time of every single bird of the team is considered.
Yes, and they're flying against the clock, every single pigeon, even
Right.
if it's paid or not.
Right.
And this is the rankings you see. So
Interesting.
it's good for everyone just to scroll down the Blue Jacket rankings, and that's his yield-based pigeons. Currently in the loft. And then Wilson Kruger, very good fancies as well. Also great success in Africa Pro for the last 2 years or so. Alphonse Klaas, there you can see the name.
Once again,
As I mentioned, his third ranked today, was last year 10 on a final. And he's also in the Black Jacket ranking. So well done to Alphonse, and keep it. I'm looking forward to see him this year at the final as well.
Then we have the guys from the UK once again, top 2.
Mountain Lofts, Marine Mills, as we mentioned already, and Heerden Lofts that took the brown jacket last week and final last year as well. So they have great success, as they always say. These Karoo pigeons can fly in the heat.
No,
well done. And today is one of those warm days, so let's see if they can pull it off.
We'll see if they show up again. All right, let's take a look at the fancier of the race for race number 5, starting with number 10. We had Alphonse Klaas.
Yeah, if we can just quickly, on our last year week, that was the reflection what we got after it was a tough race. A warm race, so the leaderboard changed a bit, and that was the names that moved up to the top 10 last week. Or caused a bit of shuffle in the rankings. But the thing that I would love to look at this week is exactly same distance, same temperatures, a little bit more for Edwin this time. But it's to see which one of these teams in front of us going to feature today, because that means they show consistency, and that's what we all are. That's what Africa Pro is all about. Is if everyone in this group can just show that consistency, and hopefully there will be fancies that's lower down the rankings that also come and show us they've got the good pigeons in the bloodlines.
Sure.
So the season is far from over, but as you can say, we mentioned this Alphonse Klaas already, Len Knutse is out there again, Alvin Bester, Hans-Paul Esser. This is the fancies, all of them are ranked in the Black Jacket currently as we speak. Karoo Africa is there now. Great week, hopefully they have a good week this week again, and they might start moving it. Dr. De Beer, phenomenal pigeons and breeding. I was at his loft and I would love to go and visit him again.
Sure.
And to just do an informative interview with him as well. But he done a lot for the sport, Dr. De Weert from Netherlands. And last week, going into the final, he had the ace pigeon, and they now is already creeping up in the rankings for ace pigeon again. Koenie Hartung, well done to Koenie, and Skalk Jonker. Skalk Jonker last year also entered 5 pigeons into Africa Pro, and he had, I think, 2 or 3 pigeons in the top rankings, in top 50. Also on the final last week, just showed to us that he loves this conditions, this heat. Yeah. And Mountain,
challenging conditions.
Mountain Marine Mills as well, as we say, second ace pigeon. Actually, not even a second behind Nils Gerdemann. But Nils Gerdemann from Germany just show us Germany pigeons got a steal, they got the genetics, they can do it. And yeah, well done to Nils, and hope to see you at the final this year as well. And congratulations on a beautiful win last week as fancier of the race.
Now, just taking a look at, obviously we've talked about fancier of the race. Just a real quick question. What goes into the decision of putting in the right pigeons, into the race? And what makes you the fancier of the race? What kind of decisions do you take?
For fancier of the race is you got to know which out of your team, or depends what's in your team, 15 pigeons, 12, 13, what's left now.
Right,
but for us is just to put a level playing field out there for everyone, so that each and everyone at least have 10 pigeons today in the race. So you got to nominate your 10 strongest pigeons, and that puts you on a level playing field with the rest. And then I take your first 2 pigeons time, accumulate that together, and that tell us who's the fancier of the week. So we basically wait for your second pigeon. But we put that time together, and once the time is together, we also accumulate the fancier of the race times for the Black Jacket to determine the world's best champion fancy for the year.
Okay, there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can see on your screen for the very first time, Africa Pro has officially linked with Facebook, and you are able to comment. You're even able to drop a picture or video, or something at home, and drop us a message. But officially, you're able to give us a chat and ask us a few questions. In fact, so I think our very, very first person there is from the Sack Green Loft. He says, hi, everyone. Hi there from Africa Pro over here. We're wishing you good luck ahead of time. And I think for the very, very first time, Henrik, we'd like to engage with our guys at home watching and ask you a question. So let's talk about velocity, Henrik. I think we should leave it to our guests at home to actually give us a prediction on the velocity of today's race, the final velocity of today's race. So please do make sure that you drop a comment on the comment section, and you're more than welcome, like I said, to drop a picture or a video.
Yeah, so for everyone that want to comment on Africa Pro live stream today, you can just go to Africa Pro Facebook page and you watch the live stream there. And once you comment on the live stream as we speak, you can just tell us, please, what do you think today's velocity will be? And perhaps also, what is your prediction of the standings?
That's indeed.
Who will win the race? And will those 3 pigeons that take the podium last week, which one of those 3 will come in first today?
Right, now let's talk about the podium. I mean, obviously we know the podium 1, 2, and 3. And they had a 5 minutes breakaway. Now we're asking them to take to give a prediction. Will it be one of those 3? You reckon it might be, Henrik?
Africa Pro so far have, in the history of Africa Pro, 4 3-time equal race winners. So they're coming in the front pack. My take today is the front pack will be bigger than 3 last week, just because I think the pigeons start to climatize better for higher temperatures.
Yes.
So I have a bit of more confidence. It's always for us a bit of we're going out of a winter season into the summer season.
Certainly.
And that's the challenge. So the pigeons need to get conditioned for that, yeah.
And talking about conditioning, oh, there we go. We have Michael Harold saying the Karoo pigeons will dominate. Do we agree? I'm not sure. Do we agree with that? I mean, the Karoo pigeons, they flew a phenomenal race last week.
Yeah. No, so let's see. So here the Loft, that took the green jacket, currently leading the Ace Pigeon competition. I think that's also a good pigeon. So, and then Triple X Factor, I don't think we can write him off.
Yes.
Yeah, so the pigeons from Rossen Dobrefi, from TNT Loft, from Umberka Loft, they come second last week, Oscar de Vries. And we will see. That's for me not just about taking the podium with the split second or so. It's about what pigeons is in the front pack, which is the equal winners, yeah. Because that accumulates over the season. So if you can be every week after week in this front pack, then we start seeing your name moving up in the top 10 rankings.
Right.
And that's when we start commentating about that. So it caught us attention. And we can start looking into this pedigree. So we want to encourage also our fanciers to upload all their pedigrees as we speak.
Indeed.
Throughout the week, because the moment we announce a race winner, we can immediately from the live stream go into your pedigree and can share with 40,000 viewers how your pigeon has born and bred. So I think personally you deserve that mileage, because you've done all the effort to breed, to plan, to budget, to go for all the logistics, to send your pigeons to Africa Pro, to compete against the best in the world. And the moment it wins, the moment it takes the podium or are up in the rankings, you got to show to the world what you've done to achieve such a great result. And your pedigree is what makes that pigeon so much valuable. So yeah, there's a first prediction, 1,280 from Bianca Bellingham. Yeah, Kingston Low Pigeon Palace. Okay, well done. Let's see. Yeah.
He said 1,000.
Let's see, what's the current velocity? Current velocity 1,396. Yeah, so I think the pigeons can anytime 1,350. I will start sitting on the edge of my chair.
Yes, no, certainly. Now, taking a look at conditioning, last week's race, very, very rough, tough for the birds. But we've had quite a little break in between last week and this week. Enough time to recoup the birds?
Yeah, so last week we had a race on Wednesday, so this year we went out for Friday, so we get like extra day or 2 as we got there. And we're very confident. I spoke to Ron and we had a close look at the pigeons throughout the season, and I think this is Ron's strong point. He can recover a pigeon when much needed, and I think he rightfully done so, and we can only see today once the pigeons arrive. How's the follow-up and all of that. Vermeulen Lof. Jan Vermeulen here from Cape Town. Thank you. Jan, I see 1,250. Yeah, that is also maybe a very good velocity.
Yeah, that's realistic. It's pretty realistic. I saw somebody there saying hoi millies. I'm not sure if they meant the birds must hoi millies or we must hoi millies in the birds' food. But I can guarantee you, I went down before the race, and I always have an amazing time going into the loft and smelling the food of the pigeons. You know, because it smells better than my breakfast. So if you meant hoi millies as in like their food, I can guarantee you they are eating their absolute best. These birds.
RJ Walker, 1,352, here than lost. So they put the money on the current ace pigeon. Yeah.
You see, RJ Walker, thank you so much.
Neil Margot, 1,295. Yeah, maybe in the future we must do a competition and then we see who was the closest, ne? So
I think
we can look after it at the end and we congratulate the person who got a velocity spot on. Perhaps let's have a look at the current weather condition as we speak. If we can just go over here to what I see in front of me, there you can see is the race point for number this morning at Kroonstad. Right now, as we speak, there's at Kroonstad is 26 degrees Celsius, but you can see there's a wind coming the whole time from the northern side, and on the whole entire route there was a light wind. In this area here before Brits, we call always before the mountain reach. There you can see the pigeons were facing a nice headwind, and it was even up to a maximum of 10 kilometers an hour. But the main thing, as I mentioned always, is the temperatures as we're going into this area after the mountain reach. The last 100 kilometers. Right now, as we speak, it's 29 degrees, but you will see here it goes to 32 degrees within an hour and a half now.
Right.
So then the pigeons, and this is what we've got to always as a one lot. You don't have to think only about the front pigeon or the front pack.
Sure.
Our responsibility lay with the entire lot. And the biggest part of today's pigeons will fly in 32 degrees Celsius.
Right.
And that's why it's so important when those pigeons arrive to make sure those that are totally dehydrated to rehydrate them and obviously to start with a recovery program.
Now, of course, and we always know that AFRIKAPRO is synonymous with high return, and we care very much about the bird. So we always try and make sure we get the highest return as possible.
So Peter Stewart's 1,233 velocity. Thank you, Peter.
He says, well done, AFRIKAPRO trainers. We will make sure to tell Luan that and his team.
Derek, yeah, well done, Derek. 1244 for first. Yeah, Derek Knutse is Len Knutse's brother. I think it will be different pigeons this week, later ones from last week. Marlene Costa, good luck everyone. Thank you, Marlene. My others, 1,280. Velocity is now 1348.
We could now just be a few minutes away from the new arrivals. At this point, it's now left only to instinct and momentum. So clear skies, pregnant with expectation.
The wind is picking up now. It become more a slight westerly wind in the last part of the race, the last 60 kilometers. You can see the temperatures is now 29 degrees Celsius out there. Last year the 330 kilometer race was 1100, but the pigeons faced a serious headwind that day. Taking consideration it was not as warm, not as hot.
From liberation to landing, waiting with bated breath to see the very first bird. Sky is quiet now, but it won't be for long. now possibly over 300 kilometers behind them, only meters ahead. Who will break the silence first? It's now or never for the fanciers. Seconds from this moment, we'll find out who is the king of the skies.
The velocity is dropping now below a 1300. It makes it already a tougher race than last week. Last week was a 1338 of the winning pigeons arriving. This is exactly what we expect for this week. It is slightly warmer, but what they're dealing with is also a headwind from the start. En as gou my screen weer sê, as scroll ek net gou vir dan. So we can see the rankings of results of race 5 last week in the same conditions, pretty much same, 330 kilometers. Linda de Vries had come in there in the first position at the velocity of 1358. Burka second, Valja Rossendobrevi third. Deep Drift Sterkfontein in a 4th position at a phenomenal race as well last week. We know they've got also the pigeons for these conditions. Mountain Lofts had a very good season, leading the Black Jacket right now as we speak. Skalk Jonker, Alvin Bester, Nils Gerdeman from Hout Bay, Ahmad from brothers from Turkey, Dr. De Weert, Alvin Bester, Team Weymans at the 12th and 13th position there. For sale pigeon, it was picked up and bought very quick after the race. Boenie Harting, Webster Loft, Hanspoor Essek, Rooi Africa, RMG Single, Kings and Gijslow. And the list goes on, and this is the rankings or the results of last week on the same conditions. Which one of these pigeons will come in the front today?
Eyes to the sky, because any moment now, the champions will descend.
So some of our velocity predictions might be very close to correct now, if the pigeons arrive any moment from now. So I remember they mentioned 1280, or we can look at some of those predictions again.
Yes, indeed. Could we see some of the big names, or could the winds of change be upon us?
So we're in this region of this prediction, so anytime from now that will expire and then we move to this crystal.
So I see a lot of fanciers going for the sub 1400 velocity.
Yeah, sub 13, below 1300.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah. They're not far from out.
Our fanciers on Facebook, welcome once again to the Versalaga Race 6. We'd just like to encourage you to please keep on commenting on our Facebook page. It's great for engagement, and we get to answer your questions as well.
Perhaps we can. I'm always open to answer the most difficult questions. So any fancier that have any concern or idea is most welcome to share it with us and we can discuss it.
And also maybe perhaps as you write down your comment, also please tell us where you're commenting from, which country.
Yes. No, it will definitely not a tailwind today. It is a headwind. It's like, but not a serious headwind. We're talking about an 8 to 9 kilometer headwind, but what we've got to keep in consideration is the temperature, what the pigeons is flying in. So it's very important for all our participants to take note of that second shipment. The first shipment is already in. The pigeon sitting right now today as we speak in quarantine. And that will be the second shipment in November. And we encourage all participants across the world to make sure you're pairing up right now.
Right.
This is one of the best times to pair up your pigeons. Those fanciers that do consistently good in Africa Pro is those who prepare themselves quite well. And your parents, the breeding pairs, need to be very healthy, well rested.
Right.
Well rested. And vaccinated and all those good things that you do for young birds and for the breeders. And as we speak, those actions that Top Fanciers is doing right now for next season, it's what put them in the front.
Right.
That's what gives them the success they got. This race is open for everyone. It's everyone's race. As we can see, there's few newcomers this year, and they actually showed to the guys that were consistently out there in the last 2-3 years. They also belong in the top rankings.
Right.
We want to encourage every fancier that believe we've got really very good pigeons, because Africa Pro is not for a one-off race where you can just send numbers and think you're going to do good.
Sure.
You're going to get punished for that. You've got to put in lots of planning and
Lots of
effort. Homework, but if you got it right, then your name is up there, and that's most rewarding.
Right.
As we could hear this morning, the podium finish of last week is equal winners that just been there for 3 consecutive races. They win hard races when it was quite hot and tough. And when that same scenario unfolds again on the same distance, those pigeons' offspring just come in the front as well.
Yes.
So we learn from each other, and let's enjoy one love racing at the best.
Again, ladies and gentlemen at home, we'd like to encourage you, when you comment, please also just tell us where you're commenting from. It's always nice to know where our guests are watching from.
Perhaps we can also ask our viewers to show who's your biggest fan, in case if you don't have pigeons in a race. Who do you think is have the best chance this year to win the black jacket competition and perhaps the ace pigeon as well? For those that follow Africa Pro, just tell us you are a big fan of which team. Who is your favorite team in Africa Pro as we speak? You can also vouch for yourself if you have all the faith in your own pigeons.
There we go. We've got some guests watching from the US. Welcome. And Morocco as well.
Jesse Saguna from America had great success in Africa Pro. He's also winning the very first race of Africa Pro. So, very great to see that he's still watching and follow Africa Pro. Okay, we got our pigeons. The first pigeons is arrived. First pigeons arrived. We've got a clear view. There's a pack of six pigeons today in the front. It's just circling. Got a pack of 6 pigeons that arrived.
Yes, there they are, wings stretched out wide. They're about to land anytime now. Looks like they're about to make it home. Who will be the first to clock in? This could change everything on the leaderboard right now.
It's a bigger group. They might wait for other pigeons. The first one's coming down. We have the first pigeon coming down. What pigeon is this going to be? And the second pigeon just put down. The third pigeon, fourth. Now it's a whole group of them.
They've made it home.
Here. And it's a bigger pack today coming in. And the winner for today will be JP Sillier and Bieneke Lofts. Congratulations to Hein Bieneke and JP Sillier. Pigeon Palace in the second position. Third position, Rick Koels van Houten, Guggenman is Kalkwijk, Zoltan Boeras. Fourth pigeon, Team van Os, Netherlands. Well done to Erwin. RM and Amandel. That's sixth position. 7 is Kevin. Mountain Lofts and Marine Mills. TNT Lead Center. Congratulations, and Pretoria Rebels in the 10th position.
And in 11th position, we've got Alwyn Bester once again. Well done. 12th position, Pigeon Palace 2. Let's see, 13th position.
Oh, then the free
Yes.
Can you believe that? All in a front pack. Wow, that will be very curious. Can we just quickly have a look at the Blue Jacket rankings? There's more pigeons coming in. Okay, so the pigeon already arrived here is from Team van Os. He's moving up already two positions. Okay, we can just go out of that just to know that Team van Os is already in there. in the current Blue Jacket rankings. We can go out and have a look at the other pigeons that just arrived. Die striplyn onder.
There they are. The leaders are officially in. Well done to the top 10.
This pigeons looks much better today.
Certainly. It doesn't.
Much bigger group as well that already arrived. There's quite a few already in.
Great indication. I mean, the landing looks very, very good. They don't look thirsty at all. The mouths are not gaping open. So well done to Ruan for recovering them very, very well. And they're looking really, really good.
Total of 27 pigeons in already. Do we already have a fancier of the race?
Let's take a look at the fancier of the race standings. It looks like we might have confirmation of a fancier of the race already.
Pigeon Palace, fancier of the race for today, and Wilson, Harry Wilson, and clear. Congratulations.
Well done, guys. Looking very, very good. First and second place taken already.
Blue Jacket rankings, can we have a look at that?
So just to make a note of it, we asked the guests what they thought would be the landing velocity, and it's actually officially 1,229. So we'll find out who was very, very close to that.
Yeah, 1,242 was the winning velocity today.
Oh, okay, great. We will take a look and see who was close.
So Team Fun also already moved up 3 positions in the current Blue Jacket ranking. 5 positions.
And rising still. Team Van Os looking good.
More pigeons arriving. As you can see, there's one pigeon coming down now.
Okay, so not really a little breakaway group, quite a huge breakaway group, but we're seeing a little bit of time and distance.
There was a good pack coming in, a strong pack, but those is very good, strong pigeons. They deserve to be in front there. They definitely clearly break away from the big group or from the rest.
Now, Hendrik, taking a look at the 3 breakaway pigeons and possibly, I think, maybe even 30 breakaway pigeons this week.
27 in front.
27 in front. Yes. I mean, I think it speaks for the recuperation over the past week.
Yeah,
and the conditioning.
Definitely. As I say, we can clearly see now the pigeons in the way the condition arrived in the front group. It shows me that they are.
There we have Kings and Geeslow again at 34, 35, Loft Enkamer. 36, Murray Brothers. Mountain Loft and Murray Mills.
And Binneker and Sylvia. Let's see if we can't get Mine Binneker online. He's the race winner for today. There's more pigeons that arrive. So we quickly look at the Ace Pigeon ranking, our Blue Jacket. So Team Van Os is nearly taking now the lead. And we have a RMG single. So RMG have an Ace Pigeon every year so far after the final in the top 10 rankings. And there's Team Van Os currently heading now for the 2nd position, climbing the ranks, with only Mountain and Murray Mills in front of him in Herdenlof. There's lots of pigeons coming down. Will one of those pigeons be in this pack from Mountain Lof and Herdenlof? We only will know in a few seconds from now. So the moment when those time goes bold and they stop ticking, we know that pigeon arrived. But Team Van Os is climbing the ladder, already moved up 8 positions. Very good pigeon this year, and also have an equal successful year back in Netherlands. Team Van Os in the 2nd position, just move 1 up. And green jacket leader winning pigeon still not in. And the contestant is now between Team van Os and Heerdenlofs for the first position in the blue jacket ranking, with RMG coming in the second, climbing the ladder now.
Who will take it? We're waiting with bated breath to find out. Team van Os looking good. That's quite a jump, 9 notches.
Total of 60 pigeons in already. And there's more pigeons coming. Will the green jacket leading pigeon arrive in this group from Heerdenlofs? Any moment now, Team van Os will move into the first position with his pigeon into the blue jacket ranking, and there's a third pigeon also from Velge de Pree Deadlifts that is currently in the 10th position. This is the 3 pigeons on our horizon that is already clocked. As you can see, Team van Os and RMG single and Velge de Pree Deadlift. But the current ranking, if all the pigeons arrive on this moment, will be as you see in front of you on the screen. Let's see if we can't get our race winner, Hein Benek, online and have a quick discussion or congratulate him. Hey, morning Hein. Baie geluk man.
Hallo Hendrik. Jo, wat 'n verrassing.
Good morning, Hein.
Congratulations. What a race, eh? Did you expect, what did you thought the velocity going to be?
I think I said 155 or 160, so I was close.
Yeah.
I was actually
Yes.
close because I've seen the video of Steer Painter,
Yes.
and I thought with that little bit of headwind on the end, it might come down with about 5 or 10, you know. So, but yeah, no, spot on.
Yeah, no, congratulations. Super performance. Do you know how that pigeon is bred?
Hendrik, you will not believe I bought that I bred for Dudley Lever that was 7th in the final at Africa Pro, and that's the father.
Wow, unbelievable. Yeah, that is very, very good.
Good pick.
So I bred some pigeons. Yeah, so I bred some pigeons for Africa Pro, and Dudley Lever bought this pigeon, and
Yes.
it came 7th. It came 7th
the
in the final. And that's the father. So it shows you again, genetics for the area is very important.
Yes. Wow. No, that's the temperature. That is quite warm today. Very similar conditions as what we faced last year in the final as well. And quite warm final. It's just so amazing to see the moment when races become harder and tougher that you see those same genetics that are doing so well is coming through so strongly.
Yeah, we are very blessed in the sense of that we always got the opportunity to handle some good birds, and then you try and buy what you can afford. And then like today, last year I was second, I think twice. We were Fancier of the Year last year twice, and to have my first win at Africa Pro, it's unbelievable. I think there will be celebration for at least the whole week till next week.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, congratulations and well done. So may I ask, when was this pigeon bred? When did you pair him up?
The pigeon, we sent it to Pala Pala last year in January. So I just grabbed the stock book, and at this stage, I think the pigeon that just won now is about 8 months old. So it's a bit of a late bred, if you can call that. But my focus were on the nest mate that also did very well at another one loft in the same year, and we actually expected these two birds to do well. There's a 259 and a 260 that we entered at Africa Pro, and that's the one that arrived.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm still overwhelmed. It's to be on your guys' platform and to be part of this unbelievable presentation. I mean, it's world stage. I don't think there's anybody else that can give you this kind of stats. With my dad, he's right next to me, and we got the big screen on, and we got a big TV, and we got some breakfast going here, and every time
And
it's
there
a big event for us.
Yeah, and there you pull it off. Congratulations, you win it and you take it. No, so good luck for the rest of the season, Hein. And it excites me a lot when I hear stories like success out of the past in Africa Pro 7 final and for Dudley Lever, and you breed this year a race winner for race 6 starting the endurance series. So today you're officially leading the brown jacket competition as well. It's not just the race win, but also leading the endurance series. So congratulations and good luck for next week.
And thank you for your great presentation. You guys are super, and keep up the good work. I know there's a lot of effort going in, but believe me, pigeons right over the world appreciate every time and effort, because this is not world stage. I don't think there is a word for what you guys are doing for the pigeon sport. But thank you very much. I know I sound like a guy that just won Africa Pro race 6, but I just won it. Thanks.
Congratulations. Well done, Hein. Keep the flag flying high. All the best. Cheers.
Thanks.
There we got just good words there from Hein Binneker, who is also hosting some pigeon auctions here in South Africa. So there's thousands of pigeons going through his hands, and he's also a dominating factor in his club where he was racing. And but I must admit, many of those fancies now moved their focus to Africa Pro.
Right.
So they sent always now the very best rider to Africa Pro. But there we got now standing on our current Blue Jacket leaderboard, as you can see. Then Team Van Os currently having the ace pigeon in Africa Pro with RMG singles, and third position currently is the Green Jacket winner, but he might be taken over by Velga and Deadlifts if his pigeon isn't in this group that just landed. There's quite a few pigeons coming in now, and you can see now this is the group normally that show us how they battle in the headwind, in the conditions on high temperatures.
Right.
And there you see also Webster Loft, also a no-name in our Blue Jacket rankings. He also clocked his pigeon now that is currently moving up the Blue Jacket ranking. Can we just have a look quickly at our Fancier of the race and then our Black Jacket standings? So Fancier of the race, there you got the top 15 already. Mark the clock. Congratulations. All the way from Belgium. And then Velga and Kruger, also from Belgium. And very, very good results for them there. Alvin Bester, 13, Burton Andreas in the 12th position. Webster, 11th, 10, Pretoria Rebels. Linda de Vries, 9 from Canada. Federlofts in the 8th. And the 7th position, Velga, Deadlifts, De Pre. Team Van Os, 6th. Painters and Ulrich in the 5th. Pigeon Palace in the 4th. 3rd, Kevin. And 2nd, Wilson. Harry Wilson and Greer. And first was today Pigeon Palace 2. Congratulations. I saw also on the comments Pigeon Palace and Kingsley Gijslow is one of our viewers' greatest fans. So they really support our team. Can we just have a look at the Black Jacket standings there? There's a bit of changes.
Yes.
As you can see, the big change here for us is Pigeon Palace 2 that take today the lead in winning the Fancier of the race, move up 27 positions into the 8th position. But here Len Klutzer also, he moved up to the 15 with Len Klutzer 1. And then Mountain Loaf and Murray move up 3 with the other. So now they currently, as we speak, they're taking the lead and have the second team in the 14th position. So they're putting 2 teams up there in the top rankings.
Well done.
Kuni Harting move up 8 positions. Congratulations, Kuni. Team Van Os move up 13 positions into the 12 positions. And the Painter and Ulrich start. They were waiting for these type of races. It's with warmer. And you can see they're back in the battlefield there in the 11th position. climbing 17 positions today, and Federlof's 9 up. And Hans Paul Esser, they remain in the top 10 ranking in the 9th position there, as you can see, and Pigeon Palace to 27 positions.
Yes, huge jump.
Yeah, Kingsley Gijslou then on the 7th position, just dropped down 1, and Kevin 12 positions
Looking
up,
good.
making it back to the top 10 ranking of
Yeah.
the Black Jackets, same as last year where Kevin was a factor in the top 10 rankings going to the final. Tour Rebels is still there in the 5th. Harry Wilson and Clear moved up and into the 4th now. Congratulations to you guys, all investor Valga, Detlefs and Mountain Lofts. Can we just look at the Blue Jackets rankings? As the Blue Jacket rankings, as we can see, there's still some pigeons that needs to come in. But currently we have Tim van Os taking the lead in the 2nd position, RMG, Velga Detlefs and Heerden Lofts in the 2nd, and the 4th is then Wilson and Clear. We're just waiting still for those pigeons. Pigeons that's already in is from Websterlof. So Websterlof already climbed 21 positions and he's still climbing the ladder. And he might make it all the way to the 6th position. As well as Gannis Family Loft. He already climbed 34 positions this morning in this race, with Kevin's 2nd pigeon in the 14th position right now, but can still climb the ladder.
Beautiful scenes there, Hendrik, as more birds keep on landing on the pad there, keep on clocking in. So very well done. Looking good, looking very, very good on their landings.
Yeah, no, it looks good. So what I can observe is this race, again, take a lot out of the pigeons. To do consecutive racing in this type of temperature, we must remember you can easily burn a pigeon. It's a little living creature,
Sure.
and you just sometimes, if you push them too hard, they can just give up as well. So it's very, very important to take on gloves when you work with these pigeons.
Sure.
That's good science. What we love to see that.
Yes.
Yeah, so personally, I would love to see pigeons following up much bigger groups and quicker as well.
Sure.
But for the conditions they're flying in, they do phenomenally well. And yes, this type of racing do distinguish those that can fly in that type of race or not. That is a different kind of pigeon, yeah. So Tim van Os from the Netherlands just showed to us, currently as we speak, he has the best pigeon in Africa Pro after 6 races, 19 hours on the wing, almost 20 hours flying in harsh African conditions. That pigeon is born and bred in the Netherlands, and I just spoke to Tim van Os. He start pairing up his pigeons right now this week for next year's race.
Right.
So I have high hopes for Tim van Os for the future as well. I think he have good pigeons. His results and success in the Netherlands this year speak for himself, and he just proved to the world they can also fly in Africa. RMG, we know they are good. I had an interview earlier here with them. RMG, every single year so far for the last 4 years, they have a pigeon in the top 10 rankings after the final in Africa Pro. Belga, Detlefs, and De Prier is a no-name, taking the black jacket in the past, and they're also in a run for the black jacket this year. And they will always be, because they're known for their quality. And so it's the new names coming there, Wilson and Creer. Webster Loft have a phenomenal good pigeon. He also once going into a final with a game breaker boss. I still remember it quite well, leading the ace pigeon going into the final.
Yes.
Unfortunately, game breaker boss didn't come back that day in a final. And there's Alvin Bester, a no-name. Herden Lofts taking the final last year, and you can see also up in the ranking now in the 7th position. So I'm quite sure this is our green jacket winner of race 5, and now ranked in the 7th position, ace pigeon for the blue jacket ranking.
More birds coming in right now, so we might just have...
Mike Gann has also done some homework, and he moved up there 38 positions today on the 9th position, and Karoo Africa in the 8th position, as you can see. And then Triple L from UK also move up 83 positions already, ne? He just climbed into the 11th position. Well done to Triple L. And Webster coming in with another pigeon, his 2nd pigeon. So Webster Love will start featuring after today's race. And congratulations to him as well.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And then Mountain Lofts, I see now they're currently in the 15 with another pigeon there, or that pigeon. And he eventually arrived now, and he's climbing up the ladder. It was earlier today in the 2nd position, start of this race, and that one particular pigeon climbed 4 positions. Okay, so our participants participate today on the social media of Africa Pro Facebook page while we do the live stream, and we ask them to predict the velocity. So Fancier Lofts have a velocity of 12,035 meters per minute, and Mohammed Rafat speed of 12,030.
Yeah.
And from Poland, we've got a 12,035 velocity, and Derek Knutzer from Cape Town, he have a velocity of 12,044. So yes, for the first position, and you are very, very close to the accurate velocity. I believe the velocity today was, the winning velocity were 12,042 only.
Wow, so just two.
So yeah,
2 notches off.
congratulations there for Derek Knutzer. His brother is well known as Len Knutzer.
Yes.
And they also got the velocity right, almost very on spot on for today after 330 kilometers in these conditions.
So well done to Len Knutzer. We'd like to keep you guys encouraged, to encourage you guys to keep on commenting. But let's take a look at the final standings.
Yeah, so today was again a tough race. I think it take a lot out of the pigeons. And we still have now 4 races to go. We're over the half part of the season, but not over the kilometers. There's still a lot of kilometers to go. We're not even halfway, far from halfway. So race 6 days. Hein Binneker we had earlier an interview with, and JP still here. Pigeon Palace 2 in the second position. Rick Koels, Van Houten and Skalkwyk Pigeons, and Wendela Wiersama in the third place. I will be very curious to see whose pigeon it is. Zoltan Buzas and Team Van Os in the 5th. In the 6th place, RAM Mandal and 7th Kevin. In the 8th position, Mountain Murray Milsloff, and 9th TNT Tyron Barnard, and 10th Pretoria Rebels. Congratulations to all of you. And then on the Fancier of the race competition, there you can see the rankings as well. Pretoria Rebels, Linda de Vries, they'll put a name and a flag up there from Canada. Congratulations to you, Linda. And Feder Lost and Velga Deadlifts. And then we just have a few things that jump around there. I think our data source missing, but let me just say, what is the ranking currently on the Fancier of the race for race 6? And from the 8th to 9th, Linda is in the 9th position. 8th position will be Federlofts, and Velge in the 7th and 6th position Team Van Os, the Painters and Ulrich, and 4th position Pigeon Palace 1, Kevin in the 3rd position, Wilson and Claire in 2nd, and Pigeon Palace 2 take today the Fancier of the race competition. And then in the Black Jacket rankings, as we see then today, Federlofts taking 10th, moving up in the 10th position there. And Hans-Paul Esser in the 9th. He still stay and remain in the 9th position. Pigeon Palace to move up quite a few positions today. 27 positions to move into the 8th position. Kingston Gijslow dropped down 1 position to 7th. Kevin in 6th position. Pretoria Rebels in 5th. 4th, Wilson and Creer. They're moving up 9 positions to the 4th today. And Alvin Bester dropped down 1 position to 3rd. And Velga Deadlifts, they move up 1 position to coming the 2nd in the Black Jacket standings. And Mountain, Lofts, and Murray and Mills remain the leaders of the Black Jacket so far after race 6.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are your standings for today's race day 7, race day 6. And we'll be looking forward to race day 7 next week. So please do hang tight. Until then, keep flying high.